Happy 2018. I wanted to put together this video to share with you some tips as you move forward with your New Year's resolutions, which I know most of us are doing. So I've got 3 things that I want you to focus on as you start off the new year. Number 1 is cut yourself some slack. Don't give yourself too many things that you want to change, because ultimately if you give yourself too many things to change, you're not going to change any of them, which is going to make you feel bad, and then in the next month or so you're going to feel worse than you did before you did at the end of the year. So always introduce small changes, make sure that those changes stick, and I recommend taking at least 30 to 60 days to make sure those changes stick to your schedule, to your routine, and then introduce some more changes after that. So just realize that when you do want to change a lot of stuff at once, just break it down to the things that you know are the easiest to get done, because once you psychologically can accomplish those things, you're going to feel better about yourself and you'll be more motivated to take on and succeed at the bigger changes later on. The second one is just focus on nutrition. You can get fit by working out a lot, but ultimately your weight loss or your body composition or your total fitness goals are not going to change if you don't address your nutrition. Nutrition is about 80% of the game when you're trying to get yourself healthier. So focus on your nutrition, and the same, as I just said with the small changes, focus on nutrition changes and focus on just a couple of those things at the beginning of the month or the beginning of the year. So maybe start eating a better breakfast for the first month. Start bringing your lunch for the first month, and then in a couple of months maybe start focusing on better macro breakdowns for your meals, and then maybe even introduce some nutrition help if you need it later on. So focus on nutrition and make sure those are small changes as well. And then the last thing is just motivation and routine. And we're all motivated to make changes. We all talk about what we want to do differently as we come into the new year. The motivation's there. What really has to happen is we have to make the changes that we want to make, we have to fit them into the routine. And being able to manipulate our routine in a way that makes sense for us is really where we start to feel, or we start to see failure, because we can't, even though we're so motivated to lose weight, or we're so motivated to eat healthy, or we're so motivated to run however many miles per week, if we don't change anything about our routine, we will never accomplish those things. So you have to figure out what can you change about your daily and your weekly schedule to introduce these new changes later on. And the hardest part for us is the routine change, because we are such creatures of habit that when we do make a change, and especially to our day, it kind of screws up everything else. So just know that in the back of our brain, we always want to have some idea of what it is that we're doing, and we want to make sure that it is easy and it's consistent. And as soon as you break that, that's when our brain actually starts pulling us back a bit. So when you're introducing your new resolutions, make sure that you consider what you need to change in your routine, and make sure you're only changing just a couple of minutes or 1 or 2 things a day, because again, the same thing like I started with, if you give yourself way too much stuff, you are not going to complete it, and then you're going to feel bad, and then you won't do anything. So why not just do 1 or 2 things, even if it's a couple of minutes each day, or even if it's 1 or 2 new routines or 2 new things that you're going to do a week. Make sure you're successful at those things. Give yourself about 30 to 60 days to do them. You're going to feel better, and then you'll be able to take on way more stuff later on. So again, Happy New Year's, welcome to 2018, and I look forward to hearing from you if you need any help with fitness, health, or nutrition.